what we're going to do here is that going to go over a concept in Python, which is called decorators, right? And well, my window here is not right, so I'm going to change that to it's funny, it's py, but it's bringing all this other stuff which I don't need. Either way, right? So in Python, everything is an object. What I mean by that is that I can say define print hi, all right? Just something silly. And here I'm going to say print hi there, all right? I can then have a variable called, I'm just going something, it's something small and silly, variable number 1. And that equals to print hi. I don't think other languages allow something like this either way. All right, and then I can simply call this function variable 1 in that manner. All right, and when I hit run, it will give me hi there, and then some of the errors. I'm not sure why these errors are here. Variable 1, maybe because I'm using like online. Online print. Well, what is this print? Printing. Well, let me try some print. That's weird. The reason I'm doing this, using it on an online browser, is because I'm using a wide screen and I didn't want to, present a screen where half of the screen is blank. Either way, right? That is, let's just omit that. Variable 1, you call that, and it will, whenever you call this function variable 1, it will run. It will indeed call print hi because, these are objects, they kind of share together. So it's kind of cool that it works, right? The other thing in Python you have to know is that you can even have nested functions, right? So here, print hi, I'm going to say def print hello, right? And same thing here. And then I want to move this, because print hi here, print there, right? And inside this, let's say hello. Oh, hello. Okay, wait. All right. So now when I run this, let's see what does it produce. Well, for some reason, it did not call. Well, oh, very cool. No, this is good. I'm wondering, I'm running this code and it's only printing hi there, but it's not even printing this part. And the reason it's not printing it because I'm not even calling it. So I need to go down here and I need to call print hello. All right. Now, because initially this is just a definition, right? I'm not calling that function, but now I am. But I'm calling this print hello inside of print hi, right? So now we should get, how's it going and hi there, and this traceback stuff. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe later I'll try to run the same code in my IDLE and hopefully that will work. But I think it's something to do with the browser or whatever it is. Not a big deal for topic today. All right. So since a function, it's nested in here together, right? It's nested. I can also return the function, right? I can also return the function. So then now you should see what will happen, right? So when I'm calling this function print hi, there's a code here print hi, and there is a print hello, right? But I'm returning this print hello, but I'm calling print hi here. So what do you think should be the print out? Not print out, output. Output is hi there, hello, how's it going? I'm going to comment this out for a second because you really want to see, print hi. So return now. I should only get hello, how's it going? Now, So you might be wondering, what's the purpose of having a nested function, right? It all depends on the need, right? It all depends on the need of what you got to do. In some cases, maybe you got to write your code in a manner that requires this. But in all my years of programming, I don't think I've ever done anything with the nested methods, right? I've done nested classes, but never with the nested functions in this manner. Okay, so let's create. What should we create? We can also do so that is that. I'm trying to think. The other thing we can do, I'm going to take this out for a second. All right, and let's just make it easy. You can also pass a function as a parameter, right? So let's just assume we'll have another function here. So function is a parameter, and then why my phone is making noise. And then let me just do another stupid, silly define print hello, right? Hello, do like that. Print, come on. Oops. Hello. I'm going to change these two. Take that out, right? I just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Print. Right there. Right? So we have two methods, and so how do we go about passing that? So what I can do, print there, and then I can say, call my function, right? Call my function. So in this place, I can simply do a print hi, and I can pass in there print hello. All right, print hello. Remember, I'm not using that parenthesis here, right? If you put that, I think that'll cause a problem. Of course, never closed, never closed. Right, you see that? I'm passing it in this function, print hi, I'm passing in a function as a argument, and it goes through and does its thing and calls this other function, which is print hello. So kind of neat. Okay, now we're getting into the main topic that we are going through this discussion, and this is about Python decorator. The old format of doing decorators was really confusing, and I never got into it. But I love the way it's done now, because now you use something that is called annotation, right? And what annotation is pretty cool. Let me show you. Maybe I should keep this print hi and hello and all that's going on here. All right, so we can have okay, here's the thing. The reason, why do we use a decorator? Right? There's a reason for it. Well, let me first write something up, right? I'm going to say, so print hello, take all of this out, and I can have a function there. Normally, when you have a decorator, you have a nested function, right? And in there, you normally have some kind of like a wrapper, code. Let's just put wrapper here. All right. And this will, they normally, perform some action, right? Perform some code, right? And also, it's going to some code. And then you basically go ahead and call that function. All right. And then also, the neat thing about this is you have to return the wrapper, right? Oops, why am I putting semicolon here when I don't need to, right? So that is it. Now, then in order for me to call that, let's just say I have another function, right? I'm going to call it define print hello, and this one, just silly old stuff, hello. So the way you decorate this is by using something that is called annotation, and which goes up here, and here I can say print hi, right? That is how you annotate it with an ampersand. And I love this concept because I have done several years of model view, MVC, model view controller kind of design and programming, right? And in those, annotation is a big one. Even in Java language such as microservices, right? That's a big one. Okay, so if we run this, nothing's going to happen because the wrapper function doesn't do anything. All right. So let's put something in there. And then what I'm going to put here, let's just put keep it simple, print. What if I put date time today, right? That will give me a problem because I do not have the imp from date time import date time, right? So that will print the date time format, and I don't care how it prints, but I want it to print something, right? And also once it does that, I want it to make something, something in this manner. Let's just make some fancy outline that everybody would like. Okay, so now print hello. I'm going to call print hello, right? So running that. Okay, you see what it did, right? I call print hello, all right, and then just according to this code, print hello is supposed to print hello. Okay, but what else it does is that it also calls this function print hi, all right, and in that there's a wrapper there which prints the date and time today, and it prints some bunch of pluses, all right. So question is, what is the reason for this decorator? I mean, I don't have any comments here, but that's a decorator. What's the reason for this decorator? Decorators are normally used for things like monitoring a function, right? So this print hi is kind of watching this, and the way it's watching this is printing date and time. So you can use a decorator for things like logging or monitoring, something like that, right? Some weird stuff like that, and that is what it is. In most cases, this type of concept is used when you are making recursive calls, right? Recursive calls, and you're trying to see basically if let's say just say if you're doing like a Fibonacci, right? Recursive, a whole bunch of recursive calls are wasted because it's duplicate, right? So here you can actually monitor or log as each one is called, right? And maybe if you change your Fibonacci code to put some kind of fancy thing in there, like maybe like a list or dictionary or something that provides you that answer without running the recursive again, this will show you. All right, so that's the whole idea of having a decorator. So how do we add arguments, right? So in order to do arguments, you have to understand a couple of things. And so let's just keep this wrapper. Arguments goes in this manner. Normally, arguments would be what maybe like a variable 1, right? Variable 2, and so forth. But here, since this is a wrapper, you don't know how many arguments you're going to have. So the best way to do it is to args with an asterisk, and also keyword args, KW args, in that manner with two asterisks, right? And anytime I look at an asterisk, it reminds me of those old C++ days using pointers, right? We use a lot of pointers. So args is basically a list of arguments coming in, and that keyword args is almost like a list of dictionary items coming in, right? Value key value pair. Okay, same thing you're going to do. I'm going to take this out here, and that for those args or whatever you got will be passed into args and double keyword args passed into there, and then you got wrapper function, to basically to do something, right? And now that you have this print hello, maybe it's taking an argument, right? Maybe it's taking some maybe variable one or variable two that would go here, all right? No, parameter, right? That will go right there, parameter two, all right? And in that manner, you can simply run it, right? Oh, that reminds me, there is a when you're using decorators, there's this other tool called func tools. Func tools, and what that allows, that's a pretty cool thing because that actually traps or logs, recursive calls, so you don't have to do it, again and again. And I have a Python lecture that goes on func tools. I think it's important. I mean, if you got a time, you should look at it, that one too. But either way, so that's how the arguments work. So let's just go. Using this, right? Using this, you can do a lot of things like trap memory usage, running time. Running time is a fairly common decorator method. All right. I'm trying to see what else have we missed that should be useful, at least for the topic of decorator. So I think you have a wrapper. Wrapper is important, right? You almost have to have this kind of skeleton, right? You need to have that kind of skeleton, and right. I mean, how do you accept? Oh, I kind of, no, I didn't lose it, but I missed it. Perform some code here. You can say print, right? Print. You can say basically. So if you're getting arguments, all right, I think you can say args. I wonder if to list will work. See, there is a list. I wonder if you can do something like that, right? I'm just going to try this because there's other ways to do this. In here, variable one, variable two. I'm going to say put ABC, comma, oops, comma, D, E, F, and then running that print high arguments. It doesn't like arguments in that manner. Well, let's just print the whole thing. So instead of doing the args, I'm going to print the list of args, and this should give me empty. Why does it give me empty? I have print hello 1 and 2, variables 1 and 2. That is managed by function is there. Yeah, those are positional right? Functions take variable 1 and 2. I have variable 1 and 2 that I'm calling it with. Everything looks good to me. Print args, spelling is correct too. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I mean, why is it printing blank for me? Either way, something that I need to figure out. I wasn't planning on. Either way, I can check that later. So we can I think that is good for today. I'm going to try this code on my IDLE. So it works better when some code like this, right? That oversee, that traps, that watches. It works better with when we have when you use your IDLE. All right. Hopefully this helps. And let me go ahead and shut this down.